that they were treated well, but I was so nervous just for somebody to just say something disrespectful or be demeaning or just treat us like our experiences don't matter, because like we human, we all got interests, we all got things that we love, we all got things that we want to say and share with the world. Right. And a lot of the times, if you're not someone that they deem is an acceptable version of a Negro, you don't get the opportunity to be showcased. And I got homies that's like the bank robber, like the prison to like underwater welder to, union craftsman pipeline is real. And I got homies who done sat down, I'm talking 15, 20 years, that's building factories, and they have pride in that, and they feel like they're not greedy, and they feel like they want to help other people. So putting that in appropriate context was important to me, because I can have a homie that can sit down and talk to you about anything, but they're like, yeah, man, I did 15 years for murder, or I did 15 for robbing a bank. Then everything that y'all just talked about go out the window.
Only underscore Wallace. Please make sure you include the underscore. And this is only underscore Wallace TV. Of course, please subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications and hit the like button for your mans and them. And don't forget to click the link in the description and check out your boy's Patreon. That's where I post the content that I can't post here on YouTube. Listen, hyperbole is way too in vogue. It's way too common to say this is the most, this is the least, this is the worst, this is fire, this is trash. But at the risk of sounding hyperbolic, Vince Staples is one of the most thoughtful artists that I've ever come across in my life as a fan of music. And I've been a fan of music for, let's call it 38 years. Vince Staples' TV show is odd. I've never seen Twin Peaks. I've never seen Curb Your Enthusiasm, but I've heard comparisons to those shows. Satirical, dry humor, weird, bizarre but yet relatable situations. The Vince Staples show is short but sweet. It's only 5 episodes, and I went into it thinking that, okay, well, if it's 5 episodes, then these 5 episodes are an hour long. But to my surprise, and kind of sort of to my chagrin, the episodes are only 25, 30 minutes, approximately 25, 30 minutes. So it feels more like a traditional sitcom as far as the runtime, but it's nothing like a traditional sitcom as far as the vibe of the show, the tone of the show, the pacing of the show. He said it in one of the interviews that he did. There are no written jokes per se. There are no actual quote unquote jokes. It's just situational comedy, but it's situational comedy that would only speak to people who have kind of a black sense of humor. When I say black, I'm talking about black comedies, as far as Pineapple Express, Top 5. I don't know, would Superbad be considered a black comedy? When I talk about a black comedy, I'm talking about gallows humor. Gallows humor, if you don't understand what that reference is the idea of being able to find the humor in a really dark situation. Like literally being on the gallows. Like you're on the verge of being executed, but you can still find humor in that situation. That's what gallows humor is. And that's what the Vince Staples show really encapsulates. And it just so happens to be a black show in the sense of ethnicity. I binge watched it last night, and I went into it thinking that it would be a little sillier and a little more lighthearted than it actually is, but it's actually a very dark show. I mean, there's death in the show. There's an episode where friends of Vince Staples are robbing the bank, and at the end of the episode, someone gets killed. There's also an episode where there's a family reunion, and there's a reference to O.J. Simpson. It's not an overt reference. There's no one literally named O.J. in the episode, but if you really pay attention, it's clearly playing on O.J. Simpson, his fall from grace. The Vince Staples Show is one of the most unique pieces of content that I've consumed in years. There's really nothing quite like it. It almost has a Funny Marco style of humor. And I don't know if Vince Staples and Funny Marco have a relationship. I've never seen Funny Marco interview Vince Staples, but I would love to see the show get renewed for a second season, and I would love to see Funny Marco be casted or at least have a cameo, because his sense of humor, his style of humor would seamlessly fit into the tone and the vibe and the atmosphere of the show. The fact that it's so short and sweet kind of inherently creates replay value. It's hard to get sick of a show that's only 5 episodes, and total runtime, the show is probably 90 minutes long, maybe a little more than that. So let me know what you think in the comments. Did you see the Vince Staples Show? What do you think of the Vince Staples Show? If you did see it, what do you think of Vince Staples as an artist? Where do you think he goes next from here? And don't forget to check out that link in the bio to the Patreon, only underscore Wallace TV. Out.